Okay, wow, dude. Alex Pereira just changed the game completely. I am in awe of this strategic move that Alex Pereira just did. So Alex Pereira has put out a new statement, and it's in direction of the UFC. It's like, hey, I'm just addressing my fans, and I'm addressing the UFC, and I'm addressing Izzy kind of indirectly, and here's what I'm going to do. And I watched it, and it was like he shot a Scud missile through Izzy's window that hit him in the forehead without looking like he's doing it. It's like the most underhanded it's like hidden in plain sight, where a dumb person will watch it and just kind of go, oh, okay, so he's saying he's just moving to 205. And I'm like, that's what you got, huh? Because that's not what he said, okay? That is not what he is actually saying. It's such a brilliant strategic move. I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to show you guys his statement. I'm going to tell you what he's actually doing, because what we're talking about is absolutely level 12 fight game. Level 12 fight game. Because what I mean in fight game is, as a fighter, you have very limited ability to influence outcomes. Now, the better you get at it, the more influence you have. The more eyeballs you have on you, the more influence you have. But everybody has limited influence. Conor couldn't even get a fight in 2020. Conor could not get a fight in 2020. So everybody has limits, okay? Alex Pereira, I didn't know what he really wanted after this fight, because he was doing such a good kind of chess. He's playing such good chess and keeping such a good poker face. It was kind of like, all right, I guess he's cool. Like, I guess he's cool with getting knocked up by Izzy. He also doesn't care that Izzy, mocked his kid. Everything's cool, right? Everything's cool. And then I watched his statement about what he says he's going to do, which at first glance looks like it's directly in line with what I just said. Oh, he's fine, man. He's good. He just wants to move up to 205 and go. And when you, well, actually, I never for a second thought that that's what he was actually doing when I watched it. When it first started, halfway through, I was like, I see exactly what he's doing. And it's brilliant, because here's the deal. When you are going to try to influence an outcome as a fighter in the UFC, there are, there's, let's just call it, two entities that you have to influence. One is the organization, UFC, and two is the person you want to fight, okay? So you always have to have the organization in, but when it's a title shot, you have to influence the champion, okay? And so when you're looking at what he wants, if you don't know what he wants, then it's kind of like, all right, I can't really tell what he's doing. But his behavior after the fight was so bizarre to me, given how he had behaved all the time before that, mocking Izzy year after year after year, and just completely making Izzy his enemy. And then Izzy starches him. He's won 3 times in a row, and then Izzy gets one win, and he just kind of goes, okay, cool. That was fun. Like, congratulations, Izzy. Great job. Oh, you mocked my kid? That's fine. And you're like, I don't understand. Like, this is totally out of character. And now I see exactly what he's doing. And you're talking about elite human strategy. Elite human strategy. Okay? So anyway, that's what we're going to do now. Before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel. I work really, really hard on this channel. All I ask from my viewers, I never ask you guys for money. All I ask is that if you're going to watch my content, please subscribe to the channel. And then that's square. That's it. Click the button one time. Forget about it. That is literally all I ask. It's like your subscription to my channel is click a button one time. So please do that if you're going to watch my content. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And also on this particular video, how about you throw a like on it? Because it's going to be good. I'm going to show you guys that video. I'm going to show you guys a video of Chael weighing in on this exact topic. And then I'm going to show you a video of Alex Pereira that leaked from him being in the locker room afterwards that shows his true feelings about this loss, because it's not as he, initially presented it. Also, super quick, somewhere in this video, I have to put an ad, but this ad, watch it, okay? I never say this to you guys. I've just put ads in, but this particular one, the story is from Miami when we were at UFC 287. It happened at Mike McDaniel's house, and it's mind-blowing, okay? Like, there's a product in the ad, but it's really a story, and it's 100% true, and it's about why you should, at least, anyway, you'll see. Give it a watch. It's a very, very interesting story anyway. Okay, so let's start with the video that is that Alex Pereira did. Okay, so let's start there, and then we'll move right along. So here we go. Let's jump into this thing. Let me pull it up, and that's the wrong one. Boom. Poeton, Hands of Steel.
Bom, pessoal, como prometido, vim aqui em primeira mão no meu canal, vim dar a grande notícia. a minha próxima luta será nos 205. Isso mesmo, a minha próxima luta será nos 205. Eu acho que eu fiz a minha parte, né, nos 185, né, e agora eu me sinto muito bem para subir. Como eu falei para vocês, quando eu me sentisse bem, eu iria subir. Ia ser algo...
Okay, so let me also just preface this, that what this is going to look like, okay? What this video looks like to a layman is, hey, we're good. I'm going to 205. Awesome. Like, I'm going to 205. Like, that's what I want to do. And again, just watch the video and then let me explain to you why this is not what it seems at all. And then we can watch it again if you want, but I'm right. Okay, here we go.
Natural, e eu achei que é algo natural. Meu próximo adversário, não posso falar ainda, mas fiquem ligados que eu sempre vou estar aqui deixando vocês por dentro de tudo. Mas também quero deixar algo claro, essa categoria de 185, eu sempre bati o meu peso, muitas pessoas me questionaram, mas eu sempre fui ali e fiz a minha obrigação. Mas agora chegou o grande momento de eu subir de categoria, vai ser melhor para mim. Eu acho que vocês vão ficar muito felizes com essa notícia e eu espero receber todo.
I absolutely support him and I support his move up to 205. Listen, the serial killer bit and all that, I am a huge fan of this guy now. Like, this guy is fascinating to me.
O apoio de vocês, porque para mim vai ser muito importante o apoio de todos vocês. Vocês veem aí as provocações do Adesanya, né? Pós-luta, ele leva essa vitória como se tivesse 3-1, né? Para ele. E não é bem assim, mas eu até entendo, ou tento entender a alegria dele, né? Era o sonho dele ganhar uma vez de mim, ele conseguiu.
Okay, so right there, let me pause that real quick. So, okay. So you have to understand the way that all of this works. Well, actually, you know what? I'm sure that a lot of you guys do understand this. I'm sorry. Let me just let him finish and then I'll go back.
Mas vamos ver qual é o comportamento dele. Eu tô subindo de categoria, é uma opção minha, mas eu tenho certeza, se eu ficar nessa categoria, eu consigo lutar com ele imediato. Vamos ver como ele se comporta. Mas eu estou subindo por opção imediata. Vamos ver como ele se comporta. Mas eu estou subindo por opção minha. Conversei com a minha equipe e eles também acharam que era o correto, então estou subindo. Não estou subindo porque eu não consigo mais dar o peso. Qualquer momento eu consigo bater 185. Então vamos ver o comportamento do Adesanya. Ele está se comportando assim porque logo em seguida o Dana White falou do meu peso, certo? E parece que ele pensa assim, esse cara nunca mais vai bater 185, vou provocar ele aqui que não tem mais o que ele fazer. Eu tenho certeza, se eu bater na tecla e falar que eu quero lutar com ele imediato, a organização, junto com os meus empresários, consegue essa luta. Então vamos ver qual vai ser o comportamento do Adesanya daqui pra frente. Deixo bem claro para vocês.
Okay, so now let's talk about this thing, all right? Because now, at first glance, it looks like what he's saying is, I want to go to 205, right? I mean, that's how could you, if you're not thinking this through, how could that not be what you pull from that? He directly says it. He's like, I'm going to 205. That's what my team thinks. That's what Dana thinks. And I'm excited, right? But then you peel back the layer just a little bit. And you could start by going right here. This line, right, this, dude. This one right here. Hang on for 1 second. Sorry. Here we go. So now let's just look at this real quick, right? Read this again. When he's talking about Izzy mocking him, he says, all right, so this is where we're going to thank our sponsor of this video, Surfshark. And I'm changing the game completely. No talking points. I'm going to tell you a true story that happened this weekend at Mike McDaniel's house where we were staying for the UFC 287 in Miami. That is so crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen a device do. I want to tell it to you guys to demonstrate how invasive eyeballs in your devices are. And this is completely true. So we were getting ready to go to UFC 287. We're talking about what we're going to wear. I brought a bunch of options. I asked Katie, Mike McDaniel's wife, what is Mike going to wear tonight? And she's like, oh, he's got this new jacket he's probably going to wear. And I'm like, is it formal? Whatever. She's like, you'll see, it's stylish. Mike gets done doing what he's doing. We walk into his closet. He shows me this jacket. I don't have my phone out. He doesn't have his phone out. He and I are walking where we would think there are no eyeballs. Shows me this jacket. I go, okay, cool. So we walk back into the kitchen, and I promise you, the next thing I did on my device, I opened my Instagram, I started scrolling, and the first ad that Instagram showed me was a jacket that looked identical to the jacket that he showed me. There's no cameras around, there's no nothing, okay? He showed me a jacket. Oh, and it's in my price point. Mike McDaniel makes, I don't know, whatever the Dolphins head coach makes, a lot of dough. Obviously, he has a different price range than I do. They showed me an identical jacket to the one that he showed me, except in my price range on Instagram. Now, that might sound convenient, right? It might sound like it's convenient. I want you to think of the ways that people can use your data that are not about conveniently offering you to buy a jacket, and think about how you can be manipulated by the powers that be when they have all of your data. They know where you are. They know what you buy. They know what you're looking at when you don't even have your phone out. So if that's not a reason that you want to get a virtual private network, I don't know what is. This is going to be the longest ad of all time, but I wanted to tell you guys this story anyway because it's very eerie and concerning to me, and I immediately put my VPN on all day long. And Surfshark also, you can do all of the things that a normal VPN could do and more. You get to stream shows when you're in different regions, and for the UFC, things like that. Most of you guys are UFC fans. That makes a huge difference. I assume you guys watch Netflix. If you're in another country, you can access the Netflix shows that you can watch in America when you're in France, or vice versa. There's a lot of stuff that you can watch when you're in other countries you can't watch in America. Now, a VPN encrypts your online data and helps you secure your personal information when you use free public Wi-Fi or your own home Wi-Fi. Surfshark does not monitor, track, or store what you do online. That means no connection or activity logs, and that's important. If you want to do the right thing and get Surfshark, protect your data, support this channel, follow the link in the description, and the promo code Jesse on Fire for 83% off and 3 extra months free. Think about what kind of discount that is, son. You don't want them recommending jackets to you that you might not want, dude. Maybe I don't want to look like Mike McDaniel. Maybe I do. But I don't want them doing the other things that they're doing, swaying my opinions and tricking my brain into bad ideas. I understand, or try to understand, the happiness that he has. It was his dream to win one time against me, and now he did, okay? Like that right there that's the line where I was like, oh, there's something else going on here. He's not trying to go to 205. He's trying to get a rematch with Izzy 100%, because that is such an underhanded fuck you at Izzy. It's not even a fuck you, actually. It's like it's a total power move, dude, to be like, listen, man, he reacted like that because it was his dream to finally be able to beat me once, and he did. And that's like, and which really honestly puts the win in perspective too. He's like, dude, I've beat this guy 3 straight times, like look at how excited he was when he finally won one, give it to him, give it to him. In these games, like I started saying this earlier and I didn't finish my thought. In interactions like this, and by the way, there's a lot more to this, so just sit tight. In these interactions, okay, it's about power, okay? It's about power, like the power moves. And it's exactly the same if you want something from someone, right? And what's the best like if you're in one of these like limbo situations with a girl, like you guys were together and then you're kind of broken up, and it's like, kind of a little bit of push and pull, and you're like, she's not responding to you, but you're not together, so you can't really break her balls, and then you're kind of stressing out about it. The rule always to have the upper hand is whoever cares less wins. Okay? Whoever cares less wins. That's why I cannot tell you how many people I have counseled through situations like this where they're like, dude, I don't know, yada, yada, yada. Because I honestly actually enjoy doing it. And obviously, like, I don't have any situations like that anymore. So I like counsel people like through email. Dude, I exchanged emails, like 150 emails with this one dude. Gabrielle's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just trying to help this guy. And generally, my strategy always comes back to do not respond to her for 2 days. And they're like, what? And like, they can't even wrap their brain around it. I'm like, just don't respond for 2 days. They're like, well, and like your instincts are, oh, well, she's going to, it always works, dude, because they start stressing out. They're like, oh, what? Like he doesn't, I don't get it. Like they don't care, whatever. It's just like, it's a straight power move. What he just did is he took all the power from Izzy. Because right now, Izzy's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing another. Like, what did Izzy say? Izzy's like, I'm not doing another rematch. He's like, nah, I want new challenges. And so Alex is not going to be a guy who's like, no, come on, man, give me another rematch. Give me another rematch. It's a power move. He takes the power from Izzy by going like, what did you win, dude? You won once out of our 4 fights? Oh, cool. Okay, move on. He's like, I don't care. And then he's like, I'm going to 205. And he's like, I'm going to 205. I don't even want that fight. Okay? That's what he's doing. Okay? He's pretending he doesn't even want the fight because he wants the fight. Right? So what the multi-step strategy that he did is A, he minimizes Izzy's victory, right? Try to understand his happiness. It was his dream to beat me once. And now he did. Good job, Izzy. You finally got me, dude. It must feel great after I finished you 2 times in a row and beat you the other time. So like I'm 3-1 against you. You must be ecstatic that you finally won. You win. Congratulations, dude. Yeah, go ahead and move on. Because honestly, there's no challenge for me anyway. And I don't even what's the point of fighting this guy again? Right? I've already beat him 3 times. I was bored. Honestly, I was bored going into that fight. I'm glad that he's got his day in the sun. He was a good rival. I'm moving on, man. I'm going to 205. I'm going to go win the belt up there. The thing that Izzy tried to do and failed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up there and do that. And that's not what he wants. He wants a rematch, 100%. And what he's doing is that. And then the way that is when you watch it, watch how many times he says things like, let's see how Izzy behaves. Let's see what Izzy does. Let's see whatever. So because he's not, if he really was going to 205 and didn't care and it was not after a rematch, why would he be talking about what Izzy does? You know what I mean? Seriously, watch. And then it's like, but let's just see what he does. Hang on.
Tento entender a alegria dele, né? Agora o sonho dele ganhar uma vez de mim, ele conseguiu. Mas vamos ver qual é o comportamento dele.
But let's see what will be his behavior. I'm going up to light heavyweight because it's a good option for me. I don't even want the fight, dude. But I'm sure if I stay in this division, I can fight against him directly. Let's see how he behaves. Let's just see how he behaves. But I'm going up. Great option for me. I talked to my team, and they think it's a great option for me. So I'm going up. I don't care. I don't care what Izzy does. I just don't care. I don't care. I'm not going up because I can't make weight anymore. I will always be able to make 185. So, if he did want a rematch, 100%, I would take it. I would do it. Let's see what his behavior is, though. He's behaving like this because Dana White spoke after my fight about my weight. And so he's behaving like he doesn't want it. And that's fine because I am going up to 205. But I definitely don't actually want the fight. And it seems like he's thinking, oh, this guy will never make weight again. I can provoke him because he won't do anything. Because he's thinking I'm not, I won't make 85. I mean, I got 100% make 85, but I'm going up. I'm sure if I insist on the fight immediately, the UFC and my promoters will make it happen. So, I could fight him if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could fight him, but I'm over it, dude. I'm going up to 205. I don't give a shit about this fight. I've already beat him 3 times. He beat me once. Who cares? I'm going to 205. I'm just saying I could make 185, but fuck him. I don't even want the fight. So we will see how Adesanya will behave now and hereafter. I make this very clear to all of you, okay? So he is absolutely 100% directly saying, I want a rematch, but I understand power games, and so I'm taking the power away from Izzy. That is 100% what he's doing. There is absolutely no question about it. Everyone is reporting that he's like, oh, I'm going up to 205. Bullshit. You don't know how to read between the lines. If that's what you got from that video, you do not understand how to read between the lines. What he actually said overtly is he wants a rematch with Izzy, but he's not going to ask for it because he doesn't have to. He's the guy who's up 3-1. He shouldn't have to ask for it. If Izzy wants to just let me go up to 205 and leave it to where I'm up 3-1 to him, that's fine. He can fucking have it. Okay? That's how a power move is made by a guy who understands power moves. Oh, look at him, dude. Oh, congrats. Oh, so Izzy, it was his fucking dream to be able to beat me once. And look he did it. Congratulations, Izzy, you got your 1 win. I mean, look at how excited he is. He thinks he can provoke me, right? He thinks he can mock my kid and provoke me because he thinks I can't make 185 anymore. I could, but I'm not going to because I don't care. I'm going up to 205. I'm going to stomp people out up there, okay? That is such a gangster-ass move. That is a move of a person who 100% understands the chess inside of this game. It's brilliant. Okay, so that is 100% what he's doing. Alex Pereira for sure wants a rematch with Izzy. There is no question about that after watching that. There's no conversation. That is absolutely what he's doing. He is trying to provoke Izzy into being the one that instigates a rematch with him, because he knows if he asks for it, then Izzy gets to say no, and then Izzy is the one in the power seat. If Alex is like, give me my rematch, and Izzy's like, nah, I'm good. Alex is like, I'm still beating you. You have to come ask me, pussy. Okay, so let's watch this also, because there's another thing here, because this also, this shows Izzy shows Alex after the fight, and he was much more upset than he was leading on, dude. Here, look at, check it.
Kept it classy and congruent, and even talked with him backstage to showed Bill of Law. He cried and couldn't believe what just happened in the octagon. Here is the footage.
Okay, so, there's nothing super special there. But he's much more upset than he's leading on. And that is how gangster this guy is, dude. Like, he knows. Don't let him see you cry. Don't let him see you upset. Pretend like it doesn't matter to you, because that's the power move, dude. You're up 3-1. You don't have to act. You don't need to go chase him around. Okay, now I also wanted to show you this. I want to show you Chael's video that he did about the division in general and where it's at, because this is fascinating. Also, he has got a great take here. Let's watch it. This is about this too.
85 is so interesting to me right now. It is so clear that your rematch, Izzy and Alex, right?
1,000%.
So clear. And
crystal.
Not only was that the consensus over here, Bad Guy Inc., Henry Cejudo's champion of the world 3 times. Getting ready to go out there, compete for it again. He tweeted that out. He said 100% that's the match that you've got to redo.
No
His
question.
Right to an opinion. Kamaru Usman thought that was the match that you need to redo. Said so publicly. Ben Askren took to social media.
1,000%.
Said, hey, you got to go to the trilogy.
You have to.
But what's interesting about that is, does Alex want it?
He does.
I spoke to somebody very close to Alex, and they said, hey, that's not how his mind works. And this isn't the official announcement that he's passing on that. That isn't what he's going to pursue. This was 2 hours after the fight. So that's not how his mind works.
He's playing games.
He likes to win new things. So if you think you're going to entice him by saying you can win the 185 pounds.
Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, they are putting it out across the board. They're like, we don't even want that fight, dude. 100% they want that fight. And he gave himself away in his statement.
Title, his response is going to be, I've already won the 185 pound title. If you think you can entice him by saying you can go out and beat Adesanya, his response is going to be, I've already beaten Adesanya. And this is just somebody that knows him, that just says consistently, they followed him all through his kick, but that's just how his mind works. Dana said, I think he's going to go up to 205 pounds.
Now, I want to go back to this really quick. This part right here. Okay? He thinks he can provoke me. I can provoke. Yeah. Oh, this guy will never make weight again. I can provoke him because he won't do anything. And I can make 185. That is definitive that is what he's after, dude.
In the meanwhile, and in the interim, Izzy started a back and forth with Duplessis, who is the highest ranked guy who Izzy is yet to compete with.
Now, Izzy is a guy who takes the biggest challenge. And I understand he's fought Alex 3. Honestly, dude, he's fought him 4 times. He finally beat him, and he beat him definitively. He might just not want to take the risk, because he will whip, oh my God, he will whip Duplessis' ass. Does anyone think that Duplessis has a chance in that fight? Duplessis is wild, dude. He's like a big, wild puncher. How do those guys do against Izzy? He absolutely murks them, and it's usually boring, honestly. It's usually pretty boring. Izzy will pick him apart, dude. Just like he did with any of these other big, wild punchers. He's done this. We've seen this movie, dude. Give us that Pereira rematch.
So I just think 85 is wildly interesting. Now, I've told you guys before how irritated I get. And I realize this is an arrogance. I admit a character flaw here. But I have shared with you that when I come out and I tell you something, and then I get an opinion from a fighter, it pisses me off. Because it makes me one of two things. Either the fighter didn't hear me say it. And if you're in this sport, if you're a pundit, a promoter, an athlete, and you are not listening to every single lesson that I give you for free daily, I'm not going to respect you the same.
Dude, people are always like, oh, like, you know, I mean, like, there's a reason that this dude is on my wall like this. Jesse, why do you have such a high opinion of yourself? I mean, because Chael's my dude. Just follow suit.
I'm not over here asking questions, and if I ever am, I will say those exact words. I am here to ask you a question. The whole rest of the time, I'm giving the answers. So when a guy comes out and he says something contrary to what I said, he either didn't hear me say it, or, moreover, which would be a much bigger insult, a much bigger sin, he doesn't think I'm right. And I just must tell you the frustration that would create.
That is the most amazing. I love that more than anything ever, dude. It's like, wait, hang on. If he's disagreeing with me, then he's obviously an imbecile because I'm always right. And I'm not saying he's not, but that is a hilarious thing to say. Can I get away with that? No, probably not. Unless it's about people. Whoops.
Case in point, Robert Whittaker. This morning, I read, interview that he did last night, I read it this morning.
I'm curious where this is going.
That he realizes he's in a very precarious spot. Now, that is an exact quote of what I said about him. So now I think, okay, we're doing good here. He's not only listening to me, he's quoting me. He says, I believe that I was held to take on Alex. If Alex beat Izzy,
yep,
I would then beat Alex.
maybe.
And rematch with Izzy. That's the fight that they really want. Okay, now we got a problem. Right? We were doing so well. Really, we were doing so well at understanding what's going on, and then said that.
I haven't seen this, by the way. That's why we're watching. I'm very curious what he's going to say here.
Politely, okay? What Whittaker did, as far as being a partner in promoting his last fight with Adesanya, there's nobody going to do him any favors to get him back to that match, just so you understand.
I was at that fight, front row with Gabrielle, and that was the first time I'd seen Izzy fight live, and I don't know if you guys were watching my channel back then, but I will say this again, since I've seen him now fight twice. That guy is different in person, dude. Like, there are certain guys that literally, like, they look like they're going to, I can't even explain it. It's like they have this, like, glow around them. Like, they're, you know, there are guys that are like stars. You know, like, you watch them on TV, you're like, dude, that guy's a superstar. And there are certain guys where in person, you're like, it's like they radiate this energy where you're like, that's a fucking star, dude. And Izzy is that. I can't imagine him losing a decision, honestly, because of how, like, powerful that kind of thing that he has is. Kevin Holland is another guy who's just like that. Kevin Holland's a fucking star, dude, in person. And yeah, those are the two guys. I mean, obviously Masvidal, he's in Miami, but like
believes it was the master plan to get him back to that match. Then why not just put you in the match? You're the highest ranked guy. You're clearly the number one contender. If this is the match that we want, why do we gotta go over all hell and gonna get it? Why don't we just make the match? I mean, just a reasonable person with reasonable logic and deduction skills would say go make the match. Now, I bring this to you because it's a very interesting position. Whittaker's chance to come out and demand that shot. Hey, whoa, time out. I'm a prize fighter. I also happen to be the top-ranked prize fighter. I also happen to be one half the largest gate in the industry's history, 57,000 live, or don't you remember? I'm also the guy that got screwed the last time I fought Adesanya.
That's true. All of those things are true.
I beat him 3-2, and you all know it. Now, you kept me on...
I mean, I don't know about the decision. I was live, so I don't have a very objective view on that.
Ice while you're booking everybody else up. And you kept me here to take on Alex, which I would have done with my mouth closed, But after I beat Alex, you were going to bring me Izzy. So I'm sitting here waiting, and just because those plans got spoiled, you're now telling me I'm going to be out of work. Excuse me, I'm going into Izzy right now. This was his chance. He didn't take it.
Yeah, that's true.
He made it very clear that he knows he's not going to be fighting Izzy. So now you have the top-ranked guy who has no dance partner, not even a rumored one. Just took his name right out of contention.
He's right. He's 100% right. I didn't even think about that, dude. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. He's 100% right. I don't even need to see the rest of this. He's right. He's 100% right. And I just honestly, I've been so caught up in Alex and Izzy, and then Duplessis has done such a good job getting his name in there and baiting Izzy with the Africa thing. I'm more African than Izzy and all that stuff that I honestly didn't even like. I just hadn't even thought about it. But he's 100% right. He's 100% right. This is exactly what I'm talking about with fight game, dude. Like the ability to influence outcomes. He's 100% right. Because Robert Whittaker had a way better case to fight Izzy next. Way better. Way better than Duplessis. I forgot about the record break. Dude, they had like 60,000 people at that fight. His first one. And then, man. And he's like, dude, I won the last fight anyway. Give me that shot. Because you want to know why he would have gotten it? Is because, do you think that Duplessis sells more pay-per-views than Whittaker? Of course not. Duplessis is not going to drive any pay-per-views. Whittaker might drive some. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's a complete no-brainer. Like if Whittaker would have been like, yeah, right, but get back in line. You haven't beat anybody like I beat. Who'd you beat? Darren Till, and who else? Who else you got? I beat Darren Till. Who else you got? Man. He's right. As usual, he is correct. I don't think that I heard Whittaker disagree with him, though. I think he just made a strategic error. Anyway, that guy. He's the man, dude. Also, before we go, I cannot stress this enough. You absolutely must watch the documentary Catching Lightning on Amazon Showtime. It's about Lee Murray, the UFC fighter who was part of the biggest bank heist in history, $100 million. They stole $100 million in a bank. They stole it from the Bank of England. It's so insane. I also did not remember how big a prospect he was. Dude, Lee Murray beat the shit out of Tito Ortiz in a street fight in 2005, dude. At Tito Ortiz is like the peak of the absolute, or 2004 even, the peak of Tito Ortiz hype. And they got a street fight. Everyone saw it. He just, like, Tito, whap, 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 Lee Murray, whap, 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 knocked him out with like a 5-punch combo. Okay? They said he literally just bap, 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 down. So then he goes and he fights in the UFC against Jorge Rivera. He's known as a striker, okay? And people are like, man, he's got a major disadvantage on the ground. And Jorge Rivera takes him down and he fucking submits him from the bottom. And you're like, he just triangle chokes him. And it was like, whoa. And then he gets on the mic. He's all, Tito Ortiz, you little bitch, I'm going to keep talking. He would have been a fucking superstar, dude. He would have been a superstar. You'll see what happens. Watch the documentary. I cannot stress it enough. It's incredible, dude. It is an incredible documentary. It's rough, though. It's rough to watch. Anyway, give that a run. I've been talking long enough. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Subscribe to the channel. I mean, if you watch this far and you don't subscribe, I mean, come on, dude. But thank you. Love you guys.